Yo, what's good? It's your boy Derek Carr here on SportsBeat360.com, covering the New Orleans Saints. And today I just want to talk about Derek Carr and where he ranks in Saints history, as where he ranks as being one of the worst players to ever wear a black and gold uniform, because that's where it's headed with Derek Carr, with the recent reports about him allegedly, faking a shoulder injury. It's just a whole bunch of mess right now, man. It just, like I told y'all, a few days ago, that this was a very multi-layered story. That stuff is coming out every day on Derek Carr's issue with the team. Now, the day it came out, it was reported that Derek Carr's been wanting to lead his team all season. Since the off-season kicked off, Derek Carr's been wanting to lead his team. So he's been wanting to lead his team. And Mickey Loomis decided to restructure the contract anyway. Then there's a video of him reviewing a $500,000 Rolls Royce with his brother David Carr, former NFL QB. And to me, his hand looked really good to me. Wasn't dangling to me. It wasn't in the sling. Worked just fine. And he just been getting cooked, bro, online, on social media, talk radio shows. Everybody's just been cooking Derek Carr, man. I think all of the Carr defenders are gone. There are no longer any more Carr defenders. It's bad. It's really bad, bro, right now for Derek Carr, bro, because regardless of what the other players have done in the past that everybody hated, the Jerry's Bird, because of his contract, Jerry's Bird, Junior Galette, after that video came out, he got paid. But prior to that happening, Jason David, even Ricky Williams a lot of people didn't care for Ricky Williams. When John went to the Falcons, there's so many others out there that that a lot of people couldn't stand back in the day. But Aaron Brooks, because Aaron Brooks, a lot of people didn't like Aaron Brooks because he was always smiling when had a team had a 3 and out on third and long, third and short. But Derek Carr takes the cake, man. Derek Carr takes the cake, man. Derek Carr, he might not be just the most hated player in team's history. He may be like the most hated athlete in Louisiana sports history. I think it's gotten that bad with this dude, bro. And on top of that, he plays the most important position on the team. And also, he's coming behind. He was expected to usher in the next era of great Saints football after Drew Brees, one of the, I think, top 10, greatest quarterbacks of all time, and by far the greatest, player of all time in Saints history, and probably like a top 5, top 10 athlete ever in Louisiana sports history. So that's how significant this news is. Derek Carr had a chance to really, ingratiate himself in the state, in the city. You don't like New Orleans that much that you come up, that reports are out there stating that you're faking an injury. And these ain't internet level rumors. This ain't nothing coming off the internet like somebody off the street putting out these rumors. These rumors are coming from credible reporters, man. Credible reporters are putting this stuff out. That Carr is faking an injury because he doesn't want to play in New Orleans this upcoming season. It's a crazy situation. Because if you didn't want to play, why didn't you just tell Mickey Loomis straight out, you're not gonna play? If you don't want to play, then I'm gonna hold out. And all Mickey Loomis, all Saints gonna do is just find you. Just keep finding you. You know, if it's that bad. But you restructure your deal, and you got, I think you on track to get $40 million this season, and you don't want to play. It's only for 1 year. You know, but this goes to show you that, you know, teams may not, his market may not be strong as he think it is. You know, I think after this season, I think Carr becomes a bridge QB. You know, like guys like Kirk Cousins, Jameis Winston. He's gonna enter into that bridge level territory. You know, as much flack as a lot of people give Aaron Brooks for what for always smiling in games back in the day, this does not, what he did back then does not top Derek Carr right now. It just don't. You know, Aaron Brooks is in the Saints Hall of Fame. You know, Derek Carr would not be. There will be nothing of remembrance of Derek Carr once he leaves the Saints. Nobody they will not talk about this dude. You know, and I think he has a strong case of being like a top 3, top 2, top 4 most hated player of all time in Saints history. He has a strong case, man. You know, Brandon Browner. A lot of people didn't like Brandon Browner, but Brandon Browner's issue was he played, you know, he was always, you know, causing penalties back in the day. Always getting the flag. You know, Jason David sucked on defense. You know, so everything wasn't perfect what Sean Payton did when he tried to add players to this team. You know, I know even people was giving Ricky Williams some issues. Didn't care for Ricky Williams that much, but he doesn't top Derek Carr. You know, if you bring out Aaron Brooks and Ricky Williams and Derek Carr in the middle, they'll get a bigger pop from the crowd compared to Derek Carr. And Ricky Williams barely played in New Orleans. Ricky Williams only played like 3 seasons with his team, with the Saints. And probably he would come home. He would come back to that stadium and get a bigger ovation than Derek Carr. Aaron Brooks too. You know, dude in the Saints Hall of Fame. Led the Saints to the playoffs. Led the Saints to their first ever playoff victory. The Saints even been to the playoffs with Derek Carr. None. The 3 years, going to his 4th year. You know, so he has a strong case of, you know, being the most hated player of all time in Saints history, man. In the top 3. I know there's some others out there that people don't like, but Derek Carr's case is strong. But none of those players that I mentioned, Julian Gillette, Brandon Browner, Jason David, Ricky Williams, Aaron Brooks, none of those players are topping what Derek Carr has done right now, man. It's reportedly doing right now, allegedly. It does not. You know? And also, how the veterans feel about this. How guys like Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Eric McCoy, how they taking this? You know, because from what I read is that a lot of those guys were blindsided by this. They didn't know nothing about this. You know, nothing. So you got to take that into consideration as well. Cam Jordan on his last leg, bro. Probably got like 1 more season left in the NFL, in the league. And this how y'all gonna doing? This how you doing? Demario Davis, same. Alvin Kamara. Who knows how long Alvin Kamara has left? Productive years, AK has left. And this how you doing? Foster Moreau, another player, another veteran. Think about that. So what those guys did in the past, and that caused the fans to not like them, does not top Derek Carr. It just don't, bro. I know what Junior Gillette did was wrong. That was awful. But man, he wouldn't do this. He wouldn't. Fake an injury, man? Really? Allegedly faking an injury? What if you get put under investigation for that? And Roger Goodell suspends you? We'll see how it all play out, man. This is a crazy story, man. Tomorrow, and probably when I wake up, you know, God say the same. Go on my phone. It'll probably be some more information coming out. Stuff is coming out every day on that situation, on that storyline. You know, the draft is next week, so interested to see where the Saints go from there. All right. So that's for y'all for right now. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. Do you feel as though Derek Carr is on the verge of becoming the most hated Saints player of all time, and even or is he becoming the most hated athlete of all time in Louisiana sports history? At least in the top 5, top 10. Let me know in the comment section below. Have a blessed night. Peace. I'm out.